Alright all, and welcome back to another video and concluding this week's previews for Day 6 of the Galway Festival and Day 5 of glorious Goodwood. Been a good day today, a very profitable day. Pablo Escobar being the best bet of the day. 11-2 winner on him in the Glorious Stakes. Obviously, Willie John placed. Valeria Messalina so unlucky placing at 12-1 alongside a few places like De Mazzaro over at Galway. Galway was a bit trickier though. A few bubbles burst, I must confess. But you know, that's the way it goes. Galway can always be a tricky festival. So we're going to wrap up here with Galway and Goodwood's action for Saturday. I'm just going to tell you now, unfortunately, I suspect I won't have a video up for the Sunday card at Galway. What I will do, because I'm very busy tomorrow, I'm afraid, I've got a cricket match in the afternoon, a few drinks afterwards, you know how it is, on a Saturday night, even with the pubs still not particularly open, but you know, these things happen. I'm just not going to be able to get a video up tomorrow evening. So if you do want selections for Sunday, what I'll do is I'll make sure to have them up on Twitter Sunday morning. So if you want to go over and follow me on Twitter, if you don't already, please do go and do so. Starting off with Galway though, for Saturday, we're going to still cover all of them for Saturday. Back to flat racing and starting off with the 235 mile furlong maiden. Seems to be between the two O'Brien horses, and I'm going to take a chance on HMS Seahorse. Best price 5-2, this Galileo Colt. Ran a nice enough race behind Jim Boulder's McSweeney on debut with the Curraway coming fourth. Should come forward for that run. Was quite tenderly ridden by Michael Hussey that day. Porrick Beggy takes the ride this time out. He does have to improve and does have to improve quite a bit to get the better of Ontario, who obviously won a maiden and then was thrown out in the stewards room, but he could do so and he does have a bit of a chance. Seems a little bit of a better betting proposition, I suppose, at 5-2 rather than the 4-6. The 310 is another mile furlong maiden, and I'm going to take a chance on Castel Gandolfo for the Jessica Harrington and Shane Foley team at 9-2. This Dark Angel Colt was second to John Murphy's Collaborating before finishing fourth at Roscommon last time out over a mile 2 furlongs on heavy ground. Now back to a mile on soft ground but not heavy ground. It's more on kind of the good side of soft than anything. And then going heavy. Does have, you know, to take on the Rain King of Donnacha O'Brien's, but I was a bit underwhelmed by the Rain King last time out, and hopefully we might still have a bit of improvement left. Again, the price just seems a little bit better, 9-2 Castel Gandolfo rather than the 2-1 favourite. So that's where I'll be going in the second. The 345 is a handicap, and I'm going to take a massive play here on Aussie Valentine. So a massive play is in a massive outsider. Aussie Valentine, 22-1, this 9-year-old Admiral veteran at this stage. Has won off marks as big in the 90s. Won a race last year over a mile off 85, beating Innamarore. And runs in this off a mark 82. Now, he was third to Njord, 2 starts back, and Njord obviously was very unlucky not to win one of the handicaps on the first day of this meeting. So he still has a good run in him. He's in a good stall, and he is weighted to go and have a crack. These Ado McGuinness horses, I usually fall into the trap and back them maybe a little bit more than I should do. But I think this horse still has a big day in him, and hopefully 22-1 might be a massive price for an each-way play. The 415 is a mile furlong handicap, and I'm going to take a chance on Andy Oliver's Silvertown here at 18-1. Obviously, we backed Andy Oliver's Inside Intel on the first day, who shaped up very well for a long way before just fading into the straight. Silvertown hopefully will be doing the opposite, staying on late on. He was 7th in the Ulster Derby behind Red Kelly last time out. He drops back to a mile now. He won off a mark of 70 at Tipperary over a mile 1 furlong at the start of this year. Hasn't won since. Obviously, he's been raised £7. Like he's running, tomorrow off a mark of 77, having won at Tipperary off 70. So he obviously does have a fair bit to prove. But 18-1 is indicative in that price, and hopefully 18-1 might seem a big price in a 4-place race. The 445, 7 furlong maiden, I'm going to take a chance on the Lawman gelding Iron Sheriff for Kevin Prendergast at 7-2. Was third at Bellewstown in quite a nice little maiden over a mile. Steps back down to a 7 furlongs, which should see a bit of improvement considering probably the last furlong didn't quite stay on as much as you'd like to have hoped, but shaped really, really well that day. Kevin Prendergast's horses weren't winning back when this horse made his debut. Now the horses seem to be in a bit better nick. He's banging a few winners across the cards, and hopefully this Iron Sheriff can go well. The 5:15, a mile for 4 furlong handicap, and if you watch a fair few of my videos, you'll know I napped up a Memorablis a few weeks ago when he was running in the mile 6 furlong Group 3 race against older horses. I thought he'd be able to take advantage of weight concession, but he unfortunately wasn't able to, but still finished 4th behind the likes of Twilight Payment and Master Reality. He comes back into a mile 4 furlong handicap this time out off a mark of 94, and I know there's a few people thinking that might be a bit steep. A few of the spotlight comments kind of provided by the Racing Post and Sporting Life would indicate they think it's a bit steep, but I don't think it's too bad, to be honest. I think 94 is exactly what you'd have expected. He won a Fairy House Maiden over a mile for 4 furlongs, beating Tarmanzor before stepping up to that Group 3 contest, which was a smart Group 3 at that. Back to Handicap Company, 7-1, I think is a really good price, and he'd be one of my better bets of the day, I must say, at an each way price. And the 5:45, the concluding race on the day, the mile 4 furlong handicap. I'm going to take a chance at one of the price here. I know Mullins' horse is quite short and does have the form to go and win the race, but Andrax at 14-1 for the McNiffs. And the McNiffs have been in good form with their small string of horses in the recent weeks, and this horse has come in for a little bit of support. He obviously won over course and distance in the Galway Festival in 2017, but has been very hard to train since then, has only run a handful of times. Twice this season, though, when kind of mid-division to rear in two goes. Now back to a mark of 61, having been ridden off a mark of 63 last time out. And I think it is a punt taken that, he's been primed for this, but hopefully he might be, and hopefully he can go quite well. Over at Goodwood, just going to preview the 4 races. Starting off with the 2:25, the mile 6 furlong handicap. Going to take a chance on Indianapolis at 12-1. Of course, I backed at Royal Ascot and ran a good race over mile 4. This is his first step up to a mile 6. Ran over a mile 5 once last year when finishing mid-division for Jimmy Given and Sylvester de Souza. Hopefully this horse, if he does stay, will have a bang chance in a race of this nature. To be honest, I think 12-1 is a bit of an insult to a horse of this abilities. I think the price compared to his ability doesn't seem to add up, in my eyes anyway. As I say, there is stamina doubts, but hopefully at Goodwood, it's not the most, staying track going. It isn't the most stiffest track going, that's what I should be saying. And therefore, hopefully, he might be able to squeak home, and 12-1 mightn't be the worst each way price. The 3 o'clock, the Lily Langtry Stakes. I know the ground is very much against her, but I think I'm going to take a chance on Manuela De Vega at 9-2. I know the favourite's going to be very tough to beat, but this Manuela De Vega can't have been more impressive this year when notching up 2 wins at Haydock. For the Rafe Beckett and Harry Bentley team, Harry Bentley's already ridden a few winners at Glorious Goodwood this week, and hopefully he can notch up a 3rd on Manuela De Vega. She's a very nice, likeable mare. Always seems to run her race, especially, as I say, 2 very, very good runs this year. And I think she'll give the favourite more to think about than the odds would suggest. The 3:35, the 6 furlong Stewards Cup, and you know who I'm going to be backing in this race. It's Swindler once again. 12-1, I think, isn't the worst each way play if he manages to get into the stalls. A very temperamental type of horse for Ed Walker. Louis Stewart takes the ride this time out. Has to be walked down, has issues with the stalls, and sometimes doesn't go into them, sometimes doesn't come out of them, and it has to be ridden stone cold last a lot of the time. So there's an awful lot of negatives I've just said there, but at the end of the day, he's still a high-class horse. I do think that one of these big races is in him, especially away from Ascot, even though he's been brilliant at Ascot so far in his career. I think a track like Goodwood should suit his strong travelling nature, and if he gets the gaps, gets the splits, hopefully will be bang there at 12-1. And the 4:10 is the 7 furlong handicap, and it provides us with Mr. Snowdon at 7-2 for Richard Hughes and Shane Kelly. Obviously beat a pretty good horse called Enemy for John Gosden off this good to firm ground before being down the field at Royal Ascot and then second at Yarmouth over 6 furlongs on handicap debut. Stepping back up to 7 furlongs, sure to suit, and he's 7-2 here. I wasn't planning to give a nap of the day today, I must confess, but I'm going to do so. Mr. Snowdon will be my nap of the day at 7-2 for Richard Hughes. Anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel down below. I hope you guys have enjoyed the full week of videos. Actually, they've been really enjoyable to make, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed listening to them as much as I've enjoyed making them, and hopefully we can join each other soon for another set of racing videos. Usually there's one per weekend previewing action, and when there are festivals I usually like going day by day to keep you guys involved. If you have any fancies for the last day of Glorious Goodwood or any of the weekend racing at Galway, please do let me know in the comments down below. And until next time out, hope you stay safe, stay well, land a few bets over this weekend, and I'll see you guys soon. Cheers.